Here at Oakland International High School, we have students who are recent immigrants. In total, the school has about 30 countries.
I'm from Burma,
China,
from Honduras.
Mauritius.
So my possession is Mario and Moses.
Biking. Computer class.
Post session, which is 3 weeks of usually PE or art-based classes for our students, and this year we're doing something called Careers in Computing.
I realized that our students don't have enough opportunities to get their hands on different kinds of technology, and not just to use them, but to write their own programs and think about themselves as agents in computing.
We talk about it in abstract, and a lot of students are disengaged or just like, oh no, that doesn't sound like fun. And as soon as we actually dive into activities, they're consumed by it.
I never tried computer things, but when I started the class, it helped me a lot. I learned a lot of things which I didn't know.
One? Should be two, right?
Equal.
So this one should be 3.
Gentlemen, take the bike all the way to the back. Get the tire first. In this biking post session, we're focusing on both ridership, but also focusing on learning how to fix, repair, and rebuild bicycles. What I found was a lot of my students in previous classes, we would get bikes, they would earn a bike, and then within a month or two, there would be issues with the bikes and they weren't riding them anymore because they didn't necessarily have money to fix the issues that they were having.
Yeah, so this is the bike that I've been riding for the whole post station, the class that I had. And these are the things I learned about the bikes that I didn't know the parts. So for example, this whole thing is the handlebar. So where the brakes are, right here in the rear brake and the front brake.
So I hope they ride bikes in the road in Oakland and feel comfortable and confident and safe, and that they fix bikes.
So my possession is Mario and Moses. And usually we just use the tile to make the mosaics and put in the SUC. So the background is all the butterflies is our group to make it.
In this class, we really wanted students to focus on the design process and look at how they can use symbols to represent themselves, to represent their community. At the end of this, what we really wanted was for students to feel that they could make public works of art, they could engage the community in that process, they could learn technical skills and actually improve.
We make butterflies because we think it represents immigration, because you know that butterflies fly together to different countries, so that's something that we do as we come from different countries to this country.
Today, students are working on their own designs. So they spent about a week and a half studying other designs. So they've made 6 different styles of bags, learned how to hand sew and learned how to sew on a machine. So there were some deconstructing activities, a lot of diagramming. We've got some games that we played with flashcards so that students were really learning the vocabulary of sewing and breaking them down into nouns, verbs, and adjectives.
My name is Samuel Benatán. I am from Honduras. Solo tengo apenas 2 meses. Estoy aprendiendo a coser, hacer diseño de mochilas, varias cosas. Es una mochila de fútbol. Es una mochila de fútbol. Lo que voy a hacer ahorita va a ser pegar esto aquí para hacer la mochila de fútbol.
There's some real problem-solving skills that our students are learning. We went on a trip to the fabric store, which was just amazing. My students have learned that it's super easy to make something that they can use, which I think is super empowering.
I have a machine at home. I didn't use it. But then after I have this class, I started to learn how to sew, and then make stuff, and when I go home, I just do it myself.
I think for some students, using tools isn't a new idea. They've done it before. But for other students, a lot in fact, this is really the first time they've used tools to take something apart and put something together. And I think that basic skill and confidence is hugely important in a lot of different things.
People seem really pleased with what we've been doing. So I think the idea is that your voice can be heard and that students can develop a skill that engages the community, but then also there's a final product that everyone can enjoy.
I have no idea what this is. I mean, it's totally new for me. I've never done coding. I've never made makey-makeys. I've never made Arduinos. And so I'm learning as they're going, and it's really fun. I think I'm gonna buy my own sets.